Good afternoon to you. This is the live broadcast of the Senate proceedings on this Tuesday, the 7th day of June, the year 2022. We do welcome you to this live broadcast brought to you courtesy of the collaboration between the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation and the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit. My name is Gladys Mungai, and I'll be taking you through the highlights in the order of business this afternoon. The Senate is resuming its sittings, and this is from a short recess with full entry in the order paper this afternoon. Given priority for consideration before the floor of the House is the Health Laws Amendment Bill, a bill from the National Assembly, Bill number 2 of the year 2021 by the Senate Leader of Majority. And this particular bill is a bill that will be tabled for the first time before the floor. And it's an act of Parliament to amend the health-related laws. The County Allocation of Revenue Bill by the Chairperson Standing Committee on Matters, Finance and Budget is also another bill that features heavily on the order paper this afternoon, with the resumption of debate on this particular bill set to be resumed after it was interrupted on the 11th of May 2022. Another bill set for consideration is the Landlord and Tenant Bill. This being a bill from the National Assembly, Bill number 3 of the year 2021. And this particular bill is by the Senate Leader of Majority at the Senate. The Persons with Disability Amendment Bill by the Senator for Kericho County, Senator Aaron Cheriot, and Senator Dr. Isaac Mwaura, is a bill at the second stage, and so senators will be resuming debate on this particular bill. The House will equally consider a bill by Narok Senator Ledamo Lekina. The bill is on the Election Campaign Finance Amendment Bill, Bill number 51 of the year 2021. The Employment Amendment Bill by Senator for Nandi County, Senator Samson Cherargei, is also another bill that has been given priority. And so is the Circle Societies Amendment Bill and the Sustainable Waste Management Bill, this being a bill from the National Assembly, Bill number 22 of the year 2021. And after completion of the allocated time for debate, the House will move into division. The Chairperson Sessional Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment will be moving a motion, and this particular motion is on the adoption of the reports of the Sessional Committee on the County Public Accounts and Investment, on the consideration of the reports of the Auditor General for the financial statements of various county executives for the financial year 2018-2019. The County E-Health Bill by Senator Judith Pareno is a bill for consideration this afternoon. The House is also set to consider the National Cohesion and Peace Building Bills, this being a bill from the Senate, Bill number 19 of the year 2021 by nominated Senator Judith Pareno. The Chairperson Committee on Matters Health will be moving a motion on the adoption of the report of the Standing Committee on Matters Health, and this is on the special audit report on the utilization of the COVID-19 funds by 28 county governments. Another motion is the adoption of the report of the Sessional Committee on the delegated legislation on its consideration of the control of budget regulations of 2021. And this particular motion will be moved by the Chairperson Sessional Committee on Matters Delegated Legislation. After consideration of various motions and bills, the House will then move into the Committee of the Whole, where a couple of bills are set to be considered under this category, the Intergovernmental Relations Amendment Bill, Bill number 37 of the year 2021, by the Chairperson Standing Committee on Matters Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations. The Law of Succession Amendment Bill, Bill number 15 of the year 2021, by nominated Senator Abshiro Halake. And the Preservation of Human Dignity and Enforcement of Economic as well as Social Rights Bill, another bill by Senator Abshiro, is set for consideration under the Committee of the Whole. The Lifestyle Audit Bill by Senator Farhia Haji. The Special Needs Education Bill by Senator Dr. Gertrude Musurove and Senator Professor Margaret Kamar, Bill number 44 of the year 2021. Another bill set for consideration before the Committee of the Whole is the Mental Health Amendment Bill number 28 of the year 2020 by Senator Sylvia Kasanga. And under this category, the House also seeks to consider the consideration of the National Assembly amendments on the Mental Health Amendment Bill. The mace is in the House this afternoon, followed by Professor Margaret Kamar, ready to preside over the business of the House this afternoon. And I'll hand you over so that we can follow up on the live broadcast. Enjoy your viewing and good afternoon.
Ombi. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, twakusihi ututazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao umerithika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Twakuomba utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi hii yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amina.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Taxes, Honorable Senators. Thank you. Honorable Senators, I have a communication to make on the resumption of the sittings of the House for the third and last part of the session. Honorable members, I welcome you back from the short 2 weeks recess, which was full of political activities in preparation for the next general elections. Sittings for the third and last part of the sixth session commence from today, Tuesday, the 7th June, until the rise of the Senate on Thursday, the 16th June 2022. It is worth pointing out to the House that apart from today, the Senate has only 5 sitting days from the sine-die adjournment of the 12th Parliament. Honorable Senators, as we start this part of the session, our agenda is heavy. This is witnessed in the order paper and the program of Senate business. Of importance is business relating to financing of county governments and several other items of business that were at an advanced stage of consideration, and what is primarily left for us is the division. I urge the Senate Majority Whip and the Minority Whip to ensure that the requisite number of senators is present in the House for us to conclude considerations of these matters. Honorable Senators, on a sad note, on Sunday, 29th May 2022, when the Senate was still on recess, we lost a member of the National Assembly for Rabai constituency, the late Honorable William Kamoti Mwangale, MP, through a tragic road accident that occurred at Narani in Kilifi County along the Mombasa-Malindi Highway. The late Honorable Kamoti was born on 21st July 1962 in Kiliang'ombe village in the present-day Rabai constituency. He attended the Kiliang'ombe Primary School, where he sat for his certificate of primary education before proceeding to the Dr. Kraft Memorial Secondary School for O-level education. Thereafter, the late Honorable Kamoti joined St. Mary's Yala School, where he sat and excelled in the Kenya Advanced Certificate of Education. His excellent performance earned him a place at the University of Nairobi, where he pursued a Bachelor of Laws and graduated in 1987. Thereafter, he pursued and deservedly earned a diploma in law from the Kenya School of Law in 1990, following which he was admitted to the role of advocate as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Honorable Senators, after completing his studies, the late Honorable Kamoti began his legal practice in earnest by starting Kamoti and Company Advocates in 1996. He is celebrated as having been a friendly, humble, fearless, and sharp lawyer. In addition to his private legal practice, the late Kamoti served the nation as a registrar of titles in the Ministry of Lands and Settlement at Ardhi House, and as a district land registrar of lands in the then Mombasa and Kwale districts. Honorable Senators, the late Honorable Kamoti joined politics in 2013 following his election as the Member of Parliament for Rabai constituency. he was re-elected to the National Assembly in the August 2017 elections. At the time of his untimely death, he was returning home after successfully submitting nomination papers to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission for re-election to a third term in the forthcoming August 9, 2022 general elections. The Parliament of Kenya, residents of Rabai constituency, and indeed the Parliament of Kenya, residents of Rabai constituency, and indeed the people of Kilifi County and the nation at large have lost a dependable and dedicated leader who served his constituents and the nation with utmost dedication. In him was an amiable legislator who epitomized the true meaning of a non-confrontational politics, a stance that he exhibited both in and outside the House. In accordance with Islamic tradition, the remains of our departed colleague were interred on Monday, 30th May 2022, at his ancestral home in Kilyangombe village in Rabai constituency. On behalf of all senators and on my own behalf, I wish to convey our heartfelt condolences to the family of the late Honorable William Kamoti Mwamkale and the great people of Rabai constituency. Honorable Senators, in honor of our departed colleague, I request that we all stand and observe a moment of silence. Thank you, Senators. May God rest his soul in eternal peace. I will allow a few members to condole with the family. Senator Aneri George.
Madam Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. I want to take this opportunity to join you on my own behalf, on behalf of my family, and on behalf of the people of Vihiga who I represent in this August House, to convey my heartfelt condolences to the family of our departed colleague, Mr. William Kamodi, the people of Rabai who elected him to the National Assembly, and indeed the people of Kilifi, the county where he came from. Madam Speaker, I knew Honorable Kamodi when he was elected to the National Assembly in 2013. I fully agree with you, Madam Speaker, that this was a very humble, quiet, non-controversial gentleman, very active member of Parliament. It is indeed very sad that he met his death on the day that he had been cleared by the IEBC to defend his seat for the third time. Madam Speaker, Kamodi was a member of my coalition, political coalition Azimio, and a member of the ODM party. He is one of the members that we were almost sure we were getting the seat. It is very sad, indeed very, very sad. We've lost a good leader, a patriot. On my own behalf and of that of my people of Vihiga, we say pole to the people of Rabai and pray that the Almighty God rest his soul in peace, and we pray that they will be able to get a good replacement, or a gentleman or a lady that will be able to fit into those big shoes of this good lawyer who left us at a very critical time. May the Almighty God rest his soul in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I see a Senator 029, card ID 74. I don't see the name. Matsai, you are number 3. I'll give you a chance, number 3. Is that Senator Kajwa? Your card is not showing your name.
Madam Speaker, thank you. I want to join you and the House and the entire nation in relaying our condolences to the Kamoti family, the people of Kilifi, for the tragic loss of their legislator. The late Kamoti was personally known to me. Madam Speaker, we never met in the usual places that politicians meet. We didn't meet on TV talk shows. We didn't meet in political rallies. We didn't even meet in demos. I never came across Kamoti throwing harsh words at the opposition. I never came across him shouting and canvassing and picketing the way politicians typically do. Madam Speaker, I met Kamoti under interesting circumstances. The Parliament has a gym, and Kamoti was an avid user of the parliamentary gym. In fact, he was fairly introverted in his physical exercise, and when he went to the gym, he would rarely talk to anybody, and he would go on with his business for 1 hour or 2 hours. Madam Speaker, Kamoti was in a small league of extraordinary gentlemen in this parliament. Kamoti could bench press his weight. He was among the few people who could sit on the bench press and do a weight of 75 kilos. And very few members of parliament are capable of doing that. The only other person who can do that is the Honorable Dan Wanyama. And in the last parliament, it was the Honorable Paul Otuoma. And in this parliament, it is yours truly and Kamoti who had the record of the heaviest bench press in that gym. So I knew him at a very, very personal level. He was extremely humble. He was a very amiable person. If you scratched beneath that veneer of introversion, you'd find a perfect gentleman. And Madam Speaker, I didn't even know that Kamoti is a St. Mary's Yala alumni. I didn't even know that Kamoti was an advocate of the High Court. He never shouted about it. He never screamed about it. And Madam Speaker, the lesson we learn is that humility and patience are virtues that can propel politicians to great heights. I have no doubt that the people he represented were going to re-elect him for a 3rd term under the ODM ticket. Madam Speaker, Kamoti was a man who demonstrated a lot of religious and ethnic tolerance, and I do hope that those who will replace him and those who will come back to this parliament in the next term will learn from the humility, patience, and tolerance that the late Kamoti demonstrated. And we pray that his family shall find peace and that the Almighty shall wipe their tears. Madam Speaker, just to finalize on the first part of your communication on pending business, it is unfortunate that this House is coming to a close when we've got so many bills on the order paper that we've not been able to process. And Madam Speaker, I've been a victim of this perennial lack of quorum in this House. We had the Intergovernmental Relations Amendment Bill, and Madam Speaker, Senator Okongo Mwegeni and I had agreed on some amendments that were going to strengthen the Council of Governors, to strengthen the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, and to ensure that the devolution space was well governed and properly regulated. That particular amendment has been in the order paper for the last 3 or 4 months. It's sad, Madam Speaker, that our partners on the other side, the Council of Governors, they have looked upon us as a Senate to ensure that we streamline legislation that will give them the space to operate, but this Senate is coming to a close without that. Madam Speaker, for me, another sad piece of legislation that we have not been able to process is the County Government Amendments Bill. And Madam Speaker, this was a bill that was reintroducing the Counties Leaders Forum. You know that in the last 8-10 years, senators have had no say, no voice in operations of counties. And when the governor sang, then Senator Sang, brought the Sang amendment, Madam Speaker, we expected that senators would be able to sit in their counties, sit with the governor and other elected members in their counties to discuss issues of common interest. And we had made a proposal that we cure those things that had been identified by the courts. And that cure had been brought to this House. And Madam Speaker, we are hopeful that come after this next election, within 14 days of the swearing in of a governor, the senator and the governor and the leadership of the county would be compelled to have a meeting through statute for them to discuss the broad plans for the county. Unfortunately, we are breaking without that, and it might take another 5 years for senators to get that opportunity. So, Madam Speaker, I want to encourage the office of the Speaker to crack down on the whips, because, Madam Speaker, the whips are writing letters to us to come to the House. They are not here. And some of them are interested parties in some of the chief whip. I saw, Madam Speaker, I didn't know that Senator Matangi is still the chief whip of the majority. I'm not sure whether it's majority or minority. And they're interested parties. We know they're running for offices of governor. Everyone who wants to run for governor should be in this House to make sure that CARA and all those disbursement schedules and all those things are passed. Because if we don't pass them, they're the ones who are going to suffer. They'll not be able to deliver their 100-day promises. So, Madam Speaker, I support your statement. And as a senator for Homa Bay, I will commit myself to the business of this House. I am not running for governor of Homa Bay. I'm running for senator of Homa Bay. Whoever will become governor of Homa Bay must have access to resources. And it cannot be said that Senate failed in that very noble duty. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. I want to believe that members will be looking in shortly for voting for CARA, and if they are hearing us online, please stay on, because within the next half an hour we are going to do that. We must execute that today. Senator Haji Faria Ali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me opportunity to also condole with the people of Rabai for the loss of their, and his family as well, for the loss of their son. Madam Speaker, as you had mentioned, this was an honorable guy in terms of the real terms of worth being called an honorable legislator. From the description, he's not personally known to me, but from the eulogy that you gave, I just feel touched that we lost such a honorable member who is the real honorable in real sense, and a gentleman, and a legislator with a lot of knowledge, and in terms of being a humble member. Madam Speaker, I just wish that the party and the members of parliament and that constituency will get a good legislator, just the one that they lost, and we all pray that God gives them the fortitude to bear that loss. Madam Speaker, in terms of the business of the House, I want to agree with Senator Kajwang that we need to take, at least we only have 1 week to pass serious business. Not even a whole week, only today and tomorrow. Because the last day of the other House to pass anything, I don't know whether they'll ever been able to pass. It's just 1 extra day, which is Thursday. So, Madam Speaker, I urge my colleagues to either log in or come to the House to ensure that at least we clear some of this business, so that at least we can, we passed the dollar almost a month and a half ago, and the other House has already passed the national government budget. Ours, we have not passed the CARA, which is equivalent in terms of the disbursement of money to the counties. And I think that would be very sad if we close this House without passing the CARA, which is the main business of among others, the main business of this House. So I'm just requesting my colleagues, if we can do business today, that's fine. If not, I'm sure most of the people have handed in their nomination papers. I'm asking them to just make an extra effort today and tomorrow so that we are able to pass all these bills. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Matsayo Stewart Mwachiro.
Asante sana Bispika. Bispika, pia mimi nataka niungane nawe kwa kupeana rambirambi zangu kwa familia na jamii marafiki wa William Mwamkale Kamuti. Bispika, kama inavyoeleweka, ni huzuni sana mimi kusimama hapa na kuweza kuongea juu ya William Kamuti. Alikuwa mbunge wangu katika eneo la Rabai ambalo liko ndani ya Kilifi County. Bispika, Kamuti kwangu mimi alikuwa mwandani wangu. Ni mtu ambaye tulikuwa kama ndugu. Anajua hili ni pigo kubwa sana kwa family, kwa niaba yangu, familia yangu ambao ni familia moja, jamii yangu na watu wote wa Kilifi. Sisi sote tunaomboleza kifo cha Kamuti. Bispika, Kamuti kama kila mtu alivyosema, alikuwa ni mtu muungwana. Alikuwa wakili, lakini saa nyingine unapata kwamba wengine kama sisi tulikuwa tunapiga kelele na tunapenda kufanya fujo pale na pale, lakini Kamuti alikuwa atakuwa na sisi, lakini yeye atakuwa mtu ambaye anaweza kusema hapa, jamani, tunakosea, tunaenda makosa, lazima tujirekebishe. Kamuti alikuwa wakili mwenye maono, na maisha ya Kamuti yenyewe yanajulikana na kila mtu kama mtu ambaye alikuwa anapenda kufanya urafiki zaidi kuliko kuona mahali ambapo anaepukana sana na wale watu wa fujo. Spika, Kamuti amewacha familia ndogo sana, na anahitaji msaada, na anahitaji kila mtu katika familia yake inahitaji kila mmoja wetu katika maombi na katika msaada wa aina yoyote. Alikuwa mmoja wetu katika chama chetu cha ODM tukiwa ndani ya Azimio, na alikuwa ni sure bet. Yaani katika ile kura ambayo ilikuwa inakuja tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8, ambao sisi sote ikiwa tutampigia baba, basi yeye alikuwa mmoja wao katika kaunti ya Kilifi ambaye alikuwa atapigiwa kama mjumbe wa Rabai. Kwa hivi sasa watu wa Rabai ni kama wameshikwa na butwa, huzuni, hawajui sasa washike mti gani. Lakini tuko na imani ya kwamba yule ambaye ameteuliwa na chama cha ODM ni mdogo wake, naitwa Mwamkale Kamuti, na tuna imani ya kwamba huyo mdogo wake Mwamkale Kamuti ana uwezo wa kuingia katika viatu vya ndugu yake, japokuwa ni vikubwa, lakini sisi tuko na imani Kamuti alikuwa amefanya alivyofanya, na kuna kwingine alikuwa hajamaliza, na mipangilio kama hiyo inaweza kufanywa vyema ikiwa ni mtu wa familia anaweza ingia kwenye hivyo viatu na amalize kazi ya ndugu yake aliyokuwa akifanya. Na mwisho ni kwamba tunaangalia madereva. Ajali hii imefanywa ikiwa na dereva wa lori akiendesha gari kwa njia ambayo si ya sawa ndani ya barabara. Lakini sasa haitajulikana kwa sababu yeye alienda zake, na hatimaye vile vile akawacha mheshimiwa alipokuwa akikimbia kuingia katika maeneo ya mashimo na kugongana, si kugongana, lakini kuingia kwa eneo la mashimo na dereva kukosa kuweza kuimiliki ile gari. Kwa hiyo Bispika, madereva wakiwa wanapeleka gari usiku ama mchana, ni jambo la muhimu pia kuzingatia sheria za barabara. Langu tu mimi sasa hivi ni kusema kwamba sisi watu wa Kilifi tumepoteza mshupavu wetu mmoja kama mbunge, na tuna imani ya kwamba katika siku zijazo, ikifika tarehe 9, yule ambaye ataingia mahali pa yule kijana ambaye tunamuita Mwamkale ataingia katika viatu vya yule ndugu yake, tuna imani ya kwamba watu wa Rabai watakuwa na imani na yeye, na tuna imani ya kwamba atafanya kazi pale ndugu yake aliwachia, ataendelea kuifanya kazi, na tuna imani ya kwamba ataweza kuibuka mshindi. Asante Bispika. Sote tunaomba roho ya marehemu Mwenyezi Mungu aiweke mahali palipo wema. Asante.
Thank you, Senator. We have Senator Kavindu online. You may condole with the family of our departed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to condole with the family of the late Kamoti from Rabai Kilifi. I personally did not know him at a personal level, but according to the condolence that you have given and the rest of the senators, I want to join them and condole with the family and the people of Kilifi in this hard and difficult period of mourning their son and their honorable member of parliament. It is not easy for them. I know they are in a state of confusion, not even knowing what to do. Those who really want to re-elect him back to the House to come and continue defending them. All we can say is that we are praying for the people of Kilifi. We are praying that they will also consider, especially the brother, and vote him to stand with the family of Kamoti, because I'm sure they loved him, and we all loved him, but God also loved him more. I would also want to speak to the road users to be careful, and especially this time of elections, that they may drive carefully, and even those other road users, and especially the people who have the lorries like that one which hit his car, they should also be mindful of the other road users with the small cars, because most of the time you see this some lorry drivers being reckless and not being mindful of the small cars on the road. May God rest his soul in eternal peace, and may God give his family peace, and may God raise another one from this family who will stand with this family and with the people of Kilifi. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Okay, next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Honorable Senators, I have 3 messages. The first one is on the passage of the Community Health Workers Bill, the National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2020. Honorable Senators, by the message dated Monday, 19th May 2022, I received a message from the National Assembly pursuant to Standing Orders 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders on the passage of the Community Health Workers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2020. The message, which is dated 18th May 2022, was received on the 19th May 2022 while the Senate was on recess, and was transmitted to all senators on the 25th May 2022, pursuant to Standing Order number 41.5. Further, pursuant to the said Standing Order, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Orders Order 41-1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the Community Health Workers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2020 was published by Kenya Gazette Supplement number 178 of 14th October 2020 as a bill concerning county governments in terms of Article 110(4) of the Constitution, seeking to make provision for the training, registration, and licensing of community health workers, to regulate their practice and to provide for the establishment, powers, and functions of the Community Health Workers Council of Kenya. And whereas the National Assembly considered the said bill on Wednesday, 6 April 2022, and passed it on Wednesday, 13 April 2022, with amendments in the form attached hereto. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110 of the Constitution and the Standing Orders 41-1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the said bill to the Senate for consideration. Honorable Senators, Article 110(3) of the Constitution requires that before either House considers a bill, the Speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate shall jointly resolve any question as to whether it is a bill concerning counties, and if it is, whether it is a special or an ordinary bill. This constitutional provision has not been met with respect to the Community Health Workers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2020. As such, the bill ought to be aligned to Article 110(3) of the Constitution, following which the bill will be read a first time in the Senate. Honorable Senators, in view of the foregoing, the Community Health Workers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2020, as received from the National Assembly by the message dated Wednesday, 18th May 2022, will not be proceeded with in the Senate. I thank you. Message number 2, Honorable Senators, is on the passage of the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 28 of 2021. Honorable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Orders 41, 3, and 4, I have received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage of the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 28 of 2021. Pursuant to the said standing order, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41-1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 28 of 2021, was published by Kenya Gazette Supplement number 104 of 18th May 2021 to establish the National Disaster Risk Management Authority and County Disaster Risk Management Committees, and to provide a legal framework for the coordination of disaster risk management. Whereas the said bill is a bill concerning county governments in terms of Article 110(4) of the Constitution, and whereas the National Assembly considered the said bill in the Committee of the Whole House on Wednesday, 11th May 2022, and passed it on Thursday, 12th May 2022, with amendments and in the form attached hereto. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110(4) of the Constitution and Standing Orders 41-1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the said bill to the Senate for consideration. Standing Order 157, Honorable Senators, requires that a bill originating in the National Assembly be proceeded with by the Senate in the same manner as a bill introduced in the Senate by way of first reading in accordance with Standing Order 139. In this regard, I direct that the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bills number 28 of 2021, be read a first time tomorrow, Wednesday, 8th June 2022. I thank you, members. The third message, Honorable Senators, is on the passage of the Children Bill, National Assembly Bills number 38 of 2021. Honorable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 41, 3, and 4, I have received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage of the Children Bill, National Assembly Bills number 38 of 2021. Pursuant to the said standing order, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the Children Bill, National Assembly Bills number 38 of 2021, was published by Kenya Gazette Supplement number 164 of 20th August 2021 to give effect to Article 53 of the Constitution to make provisions for parental responsibility, fostering, adoption, custody, maintenance, guardianship, care, and protection of children, make provisions for and regulate the administration of children's institutions, to establish the National Council of Children's Service and repeal the Children Act 2010, whereas the said bill is a bill concerning county governments in terms of Article 110(4) of the Constitution, and whereas the National Assembly considered the said bill in the Committee of the All House on Wednesday, 11th May 2022, Thursday, 12th May 2022, Tuesday, 17th May 2022, Wednesday, 18th May 2022, Thursday, 19th May 2022, and passed it on Tuesday, 24th May 2022, with amendments and in the form attached hereto. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110(4) of the Constitution and Standing Orders 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the said bill to the Senate for consideration. Honorable Senators, Standing Order 157 requires that the bill originating in the National Assembly be proceeded with by the Senate in the same manner as a bill introduced in the Senate by way of first reading in accordance with the Standing Order 139. In this regard, I direct that the Children Bill, National Assembly Bills number 38 of 2021 be read a first time tomorrow, Wednesday, the 8th of June 2022. I thank you. Senator Kachwa.
Mike.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Madam Speaker, I'm a very sad man concerning the Community Health Workers Bill that has just been guillotined due to lack of adherence to Article 110. Just yesterday, Madam Speaker, I was in the county of Homa Bay, and I was in a meeting where there were members of the National Assembly and the sponsor of the bill that has just come to the Senate but did not meet the requirements of Article 110 is a member of parliament from my county, Martin Peters Owino. He's a member of parliament for Ndiwa. He served as a chief officer for health in Homa Bay County government. And we've had a conversation with him, and he's been very passionate about the issue of community health workers. And Madam Speaker, all of us senators, when we go to our counties, there are two cadres of employees, the early childhood education employees and the community health workers. Their matters keep coming up. And for those who are running for governor, I know they've made a lot of pledges that when they get into office, they will provide permanent contracts for community health workers, and they'll ensure adherence to the Early Childhood Education Act. Madam Speaker, even though we have referred to Article 110 as a reason why this matter cannot proceed in this House, which really is a truth, we cannot compromise on that. We went to court and we sought the intervention of the court on that. I don't know how we can message it so that it does not look like the Senate just killed it because of competition between the two houses, because that's what it will sound like. Yesterday, we were making public commitments. The Honorable Martin Peters Owino was making a public commitment that the National Assembly has already processed the bill and that the Senate would also follow suit. So, Madam Speaker, at the risk of senators looking like, because of the rivalry between the two houses, and yet we know it's Article 110 that should be complied with, we must have a strategy for messaging why this House has not progressed with that bill. But finally, Madam Speaker, I also take note that Senator Agnes Zani had made similar legislative proposals. And I pray, Madam Speaker, that in the next Parliament, for those of us who will be fortunate to come back, we will get speakers who will be faithful to the Constitution. We'll get speakers who will be faithful to Article 110 of the Constitution. Because that has been the origin of our problems, and that has been the reason why many of us, our legislative proposals, have not succeeded. Because they started, we went to court, they were dropped, and starting afresh became a problem for them to see the light of day. So I share with the community health workers in Homa Bay and in all other counties. The Senate is not proceeding with this matter, not because we are insensitive to them, but because of fidelity to the Constitution. And I think that should be the strong message that goes out. And when we come back, I do pray, and we've got a very able secretariat, I do pray that the clerk will guide the new members who will come in, that this should be the first bill that should be sponsored either by the leader of government, or the leader of majority in the House, or by any other private member. Really, it should not take 6 months for the new Senate to ensure that this bill sees the light of day, because a lot of public participation has already been done and a lot of input from professionals. We've already benefited from that. What we need to make sure is within 6 months, in fact, the Senate can make this its 100-day pledge that the Community Health Workers Bill shall be processed by the Senate. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. I think you have raised valid fears, but you have also answered them. So I'm glad the National Assembly has heard you and has heard the concerns that we have when there is non-compliance. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Honorable Moses Kajwa. Sorry.
Madam Speaker, I'm not Honorable Kajwang.
Yeah.
My name is
noticed the
Stuart
petition.
Mazayo.
The petition is Justice Matzayo.
Thank you.
Matzayo. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following petition report on the table of the Senate today, the 7th of June, 2022. And with your kind permission, Madam Speaker, if you'd allow me, I'll make a few comments. Madam Speaker, this petition concerns appropriate leave rights for women who miscarry and suffer stillbirths. The petition was reported to the Senate on Tuesday, the 15th of February, 2022 by the Speaker of the Senate. The salient issues raised in the petition are that through Section 29 of the Employment Act, provides for maternity and paternity leave. It does not provide for a definition of maternity leave. This has led to the practice that maternity leave is entitled to a woman who has given birth, including those who suffer from miscarriage and stillbirths. Madam Speaker, taking into consideration the psychological and physiological trauma that usually accompanies miscarriages and stillbirths, the petitioner humbly prays that the Senate intervenes in the matter with a view of introducing an amendment to the Employment Act to make a provision for appropriate leave for women who miscarry or experience stillbirths during pregnancies. Madam Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 232, subsection 1, and the second schedule to the standing orders of the Senate, the petition was committed to the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare. Madam Speaker, during the committee's inquiry on the petition, the committee was not able to reach the petitioner to prosecute her petition, as she had failed to provide her contacts. The matter was considered at a sitting held on Friday, the 13th of May, 2022. Despite the setback mentioned above, the committee noted a grave concern raised by the petitioner in the petition and did a comparative analysis on how other jurisdictions dealt with the issues. The committee noted that in Philippines, the law provides for 60 days of paid leave for miscarriage or emergency termination of pregnancy, while in India allows for 6 weeks of paid leave. In the United Kingdom, it provides for 2 weeks for bereavement of a child from pregnancy of after 24 weeks to a child of 18 years, while in the United States, the federal laws are silent on the matter. Madam Speaker, the committee appreciated the efforts made by the women and contributions to mothers, to the economy, and the country in general. The committee has also taken note that Kenya is a developing economy, and any laws that touch on its labor market have to be well researched and carefully thought through. The committee also observes that while maternity leave for mothers who carry their pregnancies to full term and give birth to live children have been legislated upon, leave for women who suffer stillbirths and miscarriages is currently being handled administratively and on case-by-case basis, depending on the medical status of the specific woman diagnosed by a medical doctor and her employer. Madam Speaker, having taken into consideration the remaining duration of this term of Parliament, the committee recommends that the matter, for now, continues being handled administratively by the Ministry of Labor for policy consideration of the petition, please, and a progress report to be presented within 6 months of the commencement of the next Parliament after stakeholders' engagement. The committee wishes to acknowledge the time and considerable effort made by all parties who submitted information. I also wish to express my gratitude to my colleagues for their thoughtful input and engaged contribution to the matter. Further, the committee is indebted to the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the Senate for facilitating all actions that led to the production of this report. Madam Speaker, it is now my pleasant duty, pursuant to Standing Order 232, to table the report of the Standing Committee of Labor and Social Welfare in relation to the petition concerning appropriate leave rights for women who miscarry and who suffer stillbirths. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Cherargei Samson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to thank the committee led by Senator Stewart Matzayo for that report. I know there are many petitions that are pending before committees, and unfortunately, Madam Speaker, we might end up lapse of this house before they are tabled back. I want to appreciate the industry of the committee. I think looking at the petition itself, I think Constitution Article 26 says life begins at conception. So any woman who loses through miscarriage or any other form of stillbirth should be treated the same as the women who give live births. But I think I would have expected the committee to give us either policy or legislative intervention what needs to be done to ensure women who's unfortunately miscarrying before the full term of the baby or stillbirth, because most of them, Madam Speaker, and I've seen the mental health bill. Most women suffer from what we call postpartum depression, others the depression after the postpartum depression. Thank you for that correction, Madam Speaker. And they suffer this silently. And I think the women who suffer more, Madam Speaker, are the ones who miscarry or have stillbirths. And therefore, I would have expected the committee. I know there is a mental health bill that we are supposed to consider, and I've seen in the order paper, but they should have given us either policy or legislative intervention so that we are able, after this that was done, I am happy they have quoted comparison, Madam Speaker, that in other countries, any woman who miscarries or has stillbirths, they are given the same rights as the woman so that they recover, because it's more of mental, and also it's because of health of that woman, Madam Speaker. So in as much as the committee has given us an elaborate report, I would have expected at the tail end, even in the next Senate, so that it becomes part of our legacy and exit reports, to give us a proposal on legislative intervention and policy intervention, because if you ask the Executive Ministry of Health, what are you doing about women who miscarry or who have stillbirths? They can ask and tell you, we are waiting for Parliament to give us direction on the proposal. I agree, Madam Speaker, that the Executive also can give us a proposal or a policy that needs to be legislated upon. But it can also come up and say, we need also Parliament. So, Madam Speaker, largely the report is elaborate, well captured, but there is one or two things that are missing. But looking at the time that we have as a Senate and as a Parliament, it might not happen. But in future, finally, as I conclude, is Article 26 is very clear that life begins at conception. So it means when that has happened, Madam Speaker, the fact that a woman has gotten pregnant, either it is a stillbirth, miscarriage, or they give birth to a live baby, live babies, they should be treated and given the same treatment, in my own opinion, just like women who carry to full term and deliver alive and kicking babies, be it bouncing boys or bouncing girls. But the point is that let us use this Constitution as a guide. I don't think the drafters of the Constitution did not see it wise by saying life begins at conception. And I think this has been an argument by many people, both in precedents that have been said in court or any other. So I thank the Deputy Minority Leader and the future Senator of Kilifi and the current Senator of Kilifi. My brother, I think in future, your committee should give us a policy and legislative direction based on Article 26. But I thank the committee for that elaborate report and the comparisons that I've read. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Haji Faria Ali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also wish to join Senator in congratulating the committee for doing a lot of research in terms of comparability to other countries. Madam Speaker, I know an institutions whereby if you carry a baby for a term of 22 weeks, then you are entitled to half of the maternity leave of that organization, which was 6 months, so you were entitled to 3 months. Madam Speaker, the only person who can who can explain how much, actually I think in terms of the body healing and in terms of somebody feeling the pain and the psychological trauma, it's much more higher when you have a stillbirth compared to a normal birth, especially for women who have had several. Sometimes when people get stillbirths, they just follow each other, I don't know, for some strange reasons. And I think with climate, I don't know, because of climate change or for other reasons, stillbirths are much more higher in this era compared to the eras before. And I tell you, when I have a personal experience of losing 4 babies, one of them almost 12 weeks. And sometimes depending on the level of organization where you are, you just lost a baby, you went to hospital, lost the baby, unless your manager is considerate, the following day you're supposed to report to work. And you have not recovered. Not even mentally, physically, you're not ready to go back to work because of all the pain that you went through. Because some of depending on the level of how big that pregnancy was, you can go through a normal labor and, a lot of, impact on your body. And yet, that's not being recognized. So I think I agree with the Senator Cherargei that we really, I think for those of us who will have, for those of you who will have an opportunity to come back to this house, there is need to have an amendment to the law of at least having depending on the level of pregnancy and depending on the frequency, then there has to be some certain provisions whereby somebody needs to get time to rest and to do some work. And besides, when somebody goes through such a trauma, even staying in the office is not beneficial to anybody. People will just look like a zombie and they will not even concentrate anyway because of both the physiological and psychological trauma that one has gone through. They will still not do the work anyway. So we might as well just give people some time to rest and to ensure that when they come back, they're in a mental state and physical state whereby they can be able to perform and deliver on what they're supposed to do. So, Madam Speaker, I thank you, and I also wish to thank the committee for doing a good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Okay. Yeah, Senator Wafika.
Madam Speaker, thank you. I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, the 7th of June, 2022. First one is the Parliamentary Service Commission Annual Report for the financial year 2017-2018, the Parliamentary Service Commission Annual Report for the financial year 2018-2019, and the Parliamentary Service Commission Annual Report for the financial year 2019-2020. I thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. The next papers will be laid by the Leader of Majority. Oops, there is a point of order from Senator Kajwang.
Madam Speaker, the good Senator and Commissioner has laid reports for 3 financial years, which then means that in the life of this Parliament, probably no reports have been laid before the House. You probably could clarify. But also, beyond clarifying that, what happens to these reports? Because they're extremely important. They relate to the running of Parliament. We're talking of budgets of 30 billion plus every year. And we've got reports now for 3 financial years. Madam Speaker, just for the benefit of the House, maybe the Commissioner could help us understand whether these reports have been before the House, where they've been committed, what action has been taken, and what action is expected when they are laid before the House. It could also guide the House, going on record, it could also guide the next Parliament in processing the reports.
Okay, I also see another point of order from Senator Cherargei. So the Commissioner can handle both.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think traditionally, any report that is brought to House is normally, even including statement, is normally committed, even petition to the House. So it is, I don't know whether the PSC should be appearing before Public Accounts Committee. I know Senator Kajwang is smiling because he's one of the best county investment and public, and I hope he retains that seat when we come back. As a minority, Madam Speaker, of course, that is the reason, because he is good at that. So we really need to know where does this, because on these other reports that I have seen, Madam Speaker, the majority leader will table other audit reports. It will be referred to CPIC. So I don't know, should it go to SBC, should it go to PIC, PAC, so that we want to be neat, Madam Speaker. We don't, and I know our colleague, Senator Commissioner, and the future Governor of Vihiga, Senator Kaniri, we want, and you know, he's a man that has stayed longer than all of us in this House, just to have achieved that neatness, so that we don't table a report from PSC, we don't know where it goes. I wish we could be given a way where that report now will be committed to a committee, or what happens after that, so that, you know, these reports are being tabled alongside other reports of the counties, or even county assemblies. I remember county assemblies used never to appear before the CPIC. But after the legacy that Senator Kajwang has left in CPIC, he has ensured that the county assemblies appear before CPIC also, and that one has created some neatness in terms of accountability of resources that we give to counties. I thank you, Madam Speaker. Just that clarification.
Thank you. There is another intervention from Senator Kajwang.
Commissioner, to address. Madam Speaker, is it also deliberate that these reports for 3 financial years are coming to the House when we have only 4 other sittings before we adjourn sine die? Because that timing, Madam Speaker, is also rather interesting. Remember, it is this House that processed the nomination, or the motion that nominated the commissioners. And the commissioners represent us. And so when they represent us, and they bring us reports for 3 financial years, when they know we have only 4 days left to the life of this Parliament, what is the mischief behind that, Madam Speaker?
Thank you, Senator Aniri. Commissioner, can you
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
respond?
Let me begin by assuring my good friend, the Senator for Homa Bay, that this is not deliberate and there's absolutely no mischief. To answer the questions raised, the first one was where is the report committed to, which committee? I think once that report is tabled on the table of the Senate, it becomes the property of this House. But I want to believe that this particular report goes to the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. In terms of our budget for the Parliamentary Service Commission, Madam Speaker, I want to assure Senator Kajwang and my good neighbor, the Senator Fernandi, that our budget is audited by the Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly annually, every year. We always present it also to the National Assembly Budget Committee at the beginning of every financial year. So there's no mischief whatsoever. The delays are understandable. I questioned this myself, Senator Kajwang, why 3 financial years? And I think the explanation was that number one, the issue of COVID. Number 2, we have 3 vote accounts in the Parliamentary Service Commission, the National Assembly, the Senate, and the joint services, and you cannot present one report for one account. It has to be all the 3. So one of the votes could be ready, and maybe the others are not, or the 2 are ready and one is not. It's not a complete report. So there is that, and Madam Speaker, I think in future we'll be talking to our Secretariat to ensure that reports are presented at the end of each financial year. I thank you.
Maybe so that we avoid further clarifications, are you saying that this is the only unique time when you have 3 reports? You are saying every year it has been audited. So even the National Assembly didn't look at these 3?
Yes, of course they did look at all the 3, Madam Speaker. As I say, the ideal situation is that a report is presented at the end of every financial year, but this did not happen, Madam Speaker. But going forward, I think this should be the norm. We'll be talking to our Secretariat to ensure that this is done annually.
Okay, thank you very much. The next papers will be tabled by the Leader of Majority, and on his behalf, Senator Faria.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, 7th June 2022. The Public Finance Management National Government Amendment Regulation Legal Notice number 89 of 2022. Number 2, a request by the Cabinet Secretary of National Treasury and Planning seeking approval of the Senate on the national government guarantee of Laikipia County Government to borrow 1.16 billion through the issuance of domestic infrastructure bond. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Nairobi City for the year ended 30th June 2020. Report on the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Nairobi City Car Loan and Mortgage Fund for the year ended 30th June 2020. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Executive of Mombasa for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Mombasa for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Executive of Kilifi for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Kilifi for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Executive of Taita Taveta for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Taita Taveta for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the Executive of Bomet for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Bomet for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report on the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Executive of Nyamira for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Nyamira for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Executive of Kisii for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Kisii for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the Executive of Homa Bay for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Homa Bay for the year ended 30th June 2021. Report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Executive of Migori for the year ended 30th June 2021. The report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of the County Assembly of Migori for the year ended 30th June 2021. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Faria. That finishes the order on papers. Next order. Honorable Senators, I have another communication to make. Honorable Senators, I have a communication to make on the request by the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning seeking the approval of the Senate on the national government guarantee for Laikipia County government to borrow 1.6 billion through the issuance of a domestic infrastructure bond. Honorable Senators, the Senate Majority Leader has just tabled papers, among them the request by the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning seeking the approval of the Senate on the national government guarantee for Laikipia County government to borrow 1.16 billion through issuance of a domestic infrastructure bond. This request was conveyed to the Senate by the letter referenced DMD 4/259 dated 2nd June 2022 to the Clerk of the Senate. Honorable Senators, Article 212 of the Constitution of Kenya states as follows: a county government may borrow only A, if the national government guarantees the loan, and B, with the approval of the county government's assembly. Further, Article 213(1) of the Constitution of Kenya states as follows: an act of parliament shall prescribe terms and conditions under which the national government may guarantee loans. Honorable Senators, Section 58(1) of the Public Finance Management Act gives power to the Cabinet Secretary responsible for finance to guarantee a loan of a county government or any other borrower on behalf of the national government, and further, that such a loan shall be approved by Parliament. Section 58(2) of the Public Finance Management Act spells out the conditions to be met before the Cabinet Secretary guarantees such a loan. The key conditions include that A, the loan be of a capital project, B, the borrower be capable of repaying the loan and paying any interest or other amount payable in respect of it, C, the financial position of the borrower over the medium term be satisfactory, and D, the terms of the guarantee comply with the fiscal responsibility principles and financial objectives of the national government. Honorable Senators, the request indicates that the National Treasury has complied with all the necessary provisions of the law regarding the Laikipia County government borrowing, including getting an approval of the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council and the Cabinet. This request has therefore been submitted to the Senate for approval pursuant to Article 212 of the Constitution and Section 58(1) of the Public Finance Management Act. Honorable Senators, matters relating to public debt are complex and have occupied national discourse lately. It should also be noted that Laikipia government is the first county government seeking a guarantee of the national government to borrow. In view of the magnitude of the matter at hand, I therefore direct the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget to thoroughly scrutinize and interrogate this request and table a report for consideration by the Senate. I thank you. Senator Moses Kajwang.
Before I speak too long. Madam Speaker, I rise just to make a very brief comment on the statement or on the message that you've issued. First of all, to thank the county government of Laikipia, because this is the first time a county government is coming to the Senate for such an approval. And it has been the tradition of most county governments that when they need money, they rush to the Senate. But when it comes to accountability, they are hesitant to come to the Senate. And I do hope that even if it got to the point where the Senate was to approve this guarantee by the national government, there will be very robust oversight mechanisms. There will be very clear accountability provisions that will compel the county government of Laikipia to report to Parliament on the utilization of the 1.6 billion that they are seeking. Madam Speaker, I hope other counties, and I hope that those senators who are planning to be governors are going to study something from the Laikipia template. I have personally visited Laikipia County, and Madam Speaker, this is one county where you find the governor having the county statistical abstract on his desk. You find the governor understanding how much money the county generates on a daily basis. They run the county like you'd run a business. In fact, they've been working on some performance management systems that gives them a real-time picture of revenue and expenditure in that county. Laikipia is one county that we can emulate. And Madam Speaker, for those governors who will want to take this route and they come to this Senate should be very firm on making sure that on-source revenue from those counties is properly collected and accounted for. Because sometimes you might find that a county is able to finance itself without going to the debt market, like Laikipia has proposed. If we optimize our on-source revenue collection, if we incentivized our people so that they can be more productive, then our counties will be able to collect more, and they'll be using those collections to do infrastructure rather than going to the markets for instruments similar to this. And also, if we cut down on corruption in counties, Madam Speaker, I hope the Committee on Finance will look at some of these issues, the on-source potential, the implication of corruption on county resources, and also the reports of the Auditor General on how these counties have utilized the resources that Senate has sent to them in the past. I think finally, Madam Speaker, considering that we'll be going sine die in the next 4 or 5 sittings, it will be useful for us to understand that if the Finance Committee is not able to report back to the House in good time, does it mean that the request then dies a natural death, which then will need to start from square one once the House is convened? Maybe that would be useful, Madam Speaker, so that we know those will be coming back to this House, whether this will be one of the first issues to prioritize when the House resumes. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. It stands committed to the committee, and I guess the committee will have to give us progress report as and when they're ready. Honorable Senators, next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Senator, we have 2 statements. I think Senator Falhada first. Senator Falhada.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 47-1 to make a statement on issue of general topical concern, namely the toll fees charged by the management of the recently opened Nairobi Expressway to emergency services such as ambulances and firefighters. As you are aware, the expressway opened to traffic and is expected to increase local employment and ease traffic jams and bring a raft of economic benefit to the notoriously congested city of Nairobi. Madam Speaker, while the city will reap greatly from the expressway, without a doubt, what is of most concern is the toll fees levied upon emergency services such as ambulances and firefighters. In Norway, an electronic toll system similar to the system in use currently was established in conjunction with private companies under contract with the Norwegian Public Roads Administration. The toll cordon with 19 toll plazas facilitated by the city's topography with the field on the south and large grit belt areas to the north and to the east. Charges motorists for use of the road, but handicapped drivers, public transport, and ambulances motorists are exempted. Outbound traffic is not tolled. The operating costs are about 10% of the toll revenues. The toll collection uses automatic vehicle identification. Therefore, there is no need for speed reduction. Madam Speaker, in Kenya, we can borrow this pricing model from Norway. I believe emergency services, especially the emergency medical service providers, will greatly benefit. It is my honest plea to the management of the expressway to reconsider charging toll fees on these emergency services providers as the primary reason for the construction of the expressway to ease traffic congestion within the city so that the service can be rendered in good time. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Well articulated. I'll allow a few comments. Senator Gerard Gay Samson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. I want to congratulate Senator Falhada for this timely statement. Madam Speaker, there was a joke that was going around that there is one of the presidential candidates that says if he become the president, he will plan something along the highway to make it high, not the highway express. Madam Speaker, there was a statement that I brought last week on the repair on under the original road. And I remember, Madam Speaker, that they were seeking additional 9 billion. And we are aware the cost of expressway rose up to 81 billion, Madam Speaker. In as much as we celebrate this mega project, the expressway, in terms of order of the city, in terms of decongestion of the city, in terms of the value, economic value, but we must also look at the effects, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I agree, it will be inhuman to, this expressway, all of us will pay. Whether we like it or not, we will pay. The people who brought the money, the toll fees that we pay, Madam Speaker, the Kenyans, who even might never use that expressway. Like my village where I come from in Mosoriat, or Kakamega, somewhere in Butere, Madam Speaker, they might not even be able to pay. The little respect that the government can do is to allow emergency services to use. How do you ambulance, somebody is being rushed to get medical attention, somebody who, maybe there is a fire, and you know there are so many fire incidences in this city, Madam Speaker, somebody is being rushed to hospital. There are so many emergencies that I think they should access the expressway to be toll-free, Madam Speaker. They should not be levied any charge, because that is the reason there is an expressway, so that when somebody is being rushed, for example, from Machakos, Madam Speaker, to an emergency in Kenyatta National Hospital, this is an ordinary mortal, Madam Speaker, the whole Apollois of this country. And therefore, in fact, my only concern, Madam Speaker, on this point is that I don't know where the designers decided that there should not be exit within the city. Because it means there should be an exit within the city, so that if somebody is brought from Machakos or Mulolongo, being taken to Kenyatta National Hospital, there should be an exit within this Uhuru Highway, Madam Speaker, so that that ambulance can exit either to Nairobi Hospital, to Kenyatta National Hospital, or if there is a fire incident within Kikomba or within this river road within the city, if the fire engine, and I'm told there is a fire station that was built along Mulolongo, another one, additional, I don't know whether it's complete or not, but it should be able to access within the city through the expressway. So even the designers, Madam Speaker, failed in looking at those aspects. I don't know what did they want to achieve. Was it because the money was not enough, or they needed additional funds to ensure there is an exit within the city? But Madam Speaker, if you use expressway, for example, you are supposed to preside the house at 2:30. It means that you might end up going to Westlands, then come back through the same jam that you are avoiding. So these emergencies, Madam Speaker, is that these designs that was done, Madam Speaker, should be able to allow access emergency. The designs, Madam Speaker, even as such as security, Madam Speaker. I have seen there are also cameras, but we are worried, Madam Speaker, that the way it has been designed, I hope Parliament will build a high or bulletproof, Madam Speaker, up there, so that you don't...
Senator, there is a point of order from Senator Haji Faria.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's just a point of information. There is an exit in Museum Hill. You don't have to go all the way to Westlands. I just wanted to inform my brother like that.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, by my recollection, Museum Hill is still very far. We wanted something that is within, for example, if you are to rush somebody from Mulolongo all the way to Kenyatta National Hospital, by the time you are exiting through Museum Hill, you come again, you might experience jam that will make it hard for you to access Kenyatta National Hospital. But I'm just requesting, of course there are designs that were done, but I don't know why they didn't create a design that can access the CBD, the Central Business District of Nairobi, so that it becomes easy to access, because you can imagine, Speaker, if you have to go to Museum Hill and come all the way back. But I hope those are contractors, those are issues that contractors can be told to sort out at no expense to the taxpayer. Finally, Madam Speaker, and therefore this issue of emergency, we didn't need to bring to this level, Madam Speaker. I expected the designers, the policymakers, the supervisor who is Kenya, and Kenya is sleeping on the job. Because these are some of the things that Kenya should have handled at the lowest level through the Ministry of Transport, and say, let us be toll free. Let ambulances, let fire engines, and also security, the police, Madam Speaker. You can imagine if the police are driving all the way from Mombasa Road and they want to attend a security threat within the CBD or within Westlands, they have to pay. It is dangerous. By the time they are paying toll fees, something which is the security has threatened, Madam Speaker. Finally, on the comment is that, Madam Speaker, you realize that the expressway is high. We need also to be assured of the security of Parliament buildings, Madam Speaker. And you know, it's not even about us, it is about the seat of Parliament, the seat of authority. Because if anything happens, or a sniper, or any security threat goes up there, because they are up above Parliament, it can become a threat to Parliament. It's not about us, it's about the authority that Parliament is envisaged across the world. So those are some of the issues that were forgotten by the designers of expressway, although the expressway went up beyond that was conceived during Kibaki regime of around 30-something billion, Madam Speaker, and thank God you are the minister, and then within that cabinet, now it has risen to 81 billion, Madam Speaker. So these are some of the issues that maybe somebody somewhere was busy doing something until he forgets some of these infrastructural rectification. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Senator Wako Naomi Jilo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to add my voice to this very important statement by Senator Falhada. I want to congratulate her for coming up with that statement, which is very timely. Madam Speaker, I just want to say that Nairobi Expressway is one of the major development that has taken place in recent years. And any development is to improve the lifestyle of its citizen. And it is our expectation that the designers will be able to look at it and see how they can improve so that it can fit the needs of our people. Madam Speaker, Nairobi is well known for traffic jam, and especially during the rush hour. And unless the designers or the planners seriously plan, then we may not be able to help our people. The other thing is about the charges. As you know, we are facing a lot of economical challenges. People have no funds, and even the people who are living in the city are having some financial challenges. If that can also be reviewed so that many Kenyans can afford, then that can really help. About the emergency exit or the way that people in serious need can use, I think that is a valid recommendation or request, and I think the designers can see how best that can be handled, because during the rush hour, we know that it is normally congested and people suffer on the road. So I just want to say that I support the statement and pray that the Nairobi Expressway will serve the purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Masitsa, Naomi Shionga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to support this statement by Senator Falhada on the Nairobi Expressway. Indeed, it is very true that, Madam Speaker, the fee that is being charged, the fees that is being charged on this highway is extremely high compared to a normal Kenyan who wants to use it. And for any development that comes in the country, it needs to ease and facilitate those who are going to use it or those who are going to benefit from that particular service. And if you look at the fee, even 5,000 per month, even the card, the processing of the card itself, it becomes a little bit cumbersome. And if you have maybe like 5 vehicles, you need to have, you must pay for all those 5 vehicles and have all those cards, you know, all those procedures and bureaucracy. Sincerely speaking, if we are calling it an expressway and you are bringing all those bureaucracy and you are bringing all those strategies, whatever we can call it, it is never going to ease the traffic jam that we have been expressing. May I thank God because the highway is there and it's assisting our people. But again, when you look at the design, the way my colleagues have said, the design does not allow people to exit to the, like us who come to parliament here, who are coming to parliament here, it cannot just allow you directly to exit to the parliament. If at all we are saying that we go up to Museum Hill, then what is the need of us then accessing the city? We would have gotten then another route that can come direct to the city that can facilitate us, because we are calling it an expressway, and everything should be should be faster. Again, when you look at the money that is being charged, as I've said, people don't have money in their pockets. Kenya, we are suffering, we are struggling, and many are living below the poverty line, or many are living below $1.
And if you tell somebody who has just maybe afforded a vehicle that you start now paying, at the end of the month, you find that then it becomes expensive in itself. However much we are looking at it like we need to pay the taxpayers' money or whatever, I would have advised the government that we would have allowed this road or the users of this road at least 2-3 months, Kenyans to enjoy free, to drive on this road free, to see how best we can tap into the new system and the new services that we have gotten. But just starting by charging, then we are really not giving Kenyans a chance to enjoy their own services that they are being provided through their taxpayers. So I think, according to this statement, it is timely, and let those who are especially in Kenya look at the design so that they can allow us, because most of the institutions are still based within the town or within the environment of the town, so that they can be accessed. You see again Kenyatta Hospital here, where all emergencies are taken. Nairobi Hospital, where emergencies are taken or where emergencies are being attended to. And even facilities that, educational facilities that students are accessing, like Nairobi University, we need to have an access to, because most of the people, if we say that we congest them, then we have not sorted out our problem when it comes to this expressway, but we are still creating some problems, or we are still creating some challenges within the facilitation of transport system in the government. Otherwise, I want just to applaud the government for coming up with it. And again, to touch on what Cherareke said, when I'm seated in the facility or in the vicinity of this parliament, and I see a whole expressway passing on top of my building, that is the Parliament of Kenya, and it is passing there, anything can happen. We are not saying that we are expecting anything, but we have seen these things happen, and we can't just take for granted. I would have thought that the designer would have maybe looked at it like it is a bit of a challenge to have a road passing just on an institute like this one, carrying very important or having very important people in parliament, and the road is just next to the parliament. And it's a little bit, I can say, to me, it poses a big challenge, but I hope we will not, or people will not think that that is then it poses a challenge, but in the real sense, it poses a security challenge or threat. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support the statement and congratulate Senator Falhada for coming up with it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senators. Because of the issues that have been raised around this statement, I want to use my discretion to refer the statement to the Committee on Roads and Transportation so that they deal with all the issues that have been put there, and I encourage the committee to look at what has been documented in the answer and ask Senator Falhada if she has any other additional information she would like to give the committee, she can go ahead. Thank you. So it stands committed to the Committee on Roads and Transportation. Thank you, Senators. The next statement, under 47.1, is by Senator Musurube. Is she online? She online? Senator Musurube, are you online? While we are still waiting to see whether she's online, I think we can go to statement under 51.1 by Eric Okongo Mogeni.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm rising to give a statement on consideration by the National Assembly of Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendment Bill, Bills number 26, National Assembly Bills number 26 of 2022. Madam Speaker, I'm issuing this statement pursuant to Standing Order 51, subsection 1A of the Senate Standing Orders. Honorable Speaker, I make a statement relating to a matter for which my Committee of Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights is responsible, namely the consideration by the National Assembly of Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendment Bill, National Bills number 26 of 2022. Madam Speaker, Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 26 of 2022, was published on the 10th of May 2022 and introduced in the National Assembly by way of first reading on the 26th of May 2022. Madam Speaker, the bill was committed to various committees to undertake public participation thereon, with that window closing on Monday, the 6th of June 2022. Madam Speaker, I'm reliably informed that the National Assembly intends to fast-track in consideration and passage of this bill before it proceeds to adjourn Senadai later this week. Madam Speaker, noting that in the memorandum of the bill, it is stated that the bill does not concern county governments, it is likely that the bill will then be submitted to His Excellency the President for assent without the bill being referred to the Senate for consideration. Unsurprisingly, Madam Speaker, the bill was not subjected to the concurrence process under Articles 110, Sub-Article 3 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Madam Speaker, while the bill is couched as proposing minor amendments which do not merit the publication of separate bills, the Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendment Bill contains far-reaching proposals which, if passed, would greatly undermine the mandate and functions of the Senate and those of county governments. Madam Speaker, for example, the bill seeks to vary the reporting mandate of commissions and independent offices from inter alia Parliament, in some instances the Senate, and make the reporting obligation to be to the National Assembly only. Madam Speaker, these amendments include amendments to the reporting obligations of IEBC. Madam Speaker, I have a copy of the Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendment Bill, the Judicial Service Commission, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, the National Gender and Equality Commission, Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the Commission on Revenue Allocation, CRA, the National Land Commission, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the National Police Service Commission, the Control of Budget, the Teacher Service Commission, and the Public Service Commission. Madam Speaker, if I can maybe as an example go to one of the proposals, Madam Speaker, which is at page 796 of this bill, Madam Speaker. It is proposed that the word Senate be deleted so that the only obligation for these commissions will be to report to the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, that sounds very mischievous, Madam Speaker. The law as it stands now, Madam Speaker, if you go to the Judicial Service Commission Act, Act number 11, that was passed in 2011, Section 38 states that the Commission and the Judiciary shall cause the annual report to be published in the Gazette and shall send a copy of the report in each of the clerks of the two houses of Parliament for it to be placed before the respective houses for debate and adoption. Madam Speaker, the Miscellaneous Law Amendment Bill proposes to amend that particular section to delete the obligation of that annual report being filed with the clerks of the Senate and all to be considered by the Senate, Madam Speaker. Another one, Madam Speaker, is the National Gender and Equality Commission, Madam Speaker. The current section 53, Madam Speaker, states that the President, National Assembly, and the Senate may at any time require the Commission to submit a report on a particular issue. The Miscellaneous Amendment Bill, Madam Speaker, proposes to delete the word Senate from consideration, and many others, Mr. Speaker. In essence, Mr. Speaker, if this is done, Mr. Speaker, it will be unconstitutional because, Madam Speaker, Article 249, Sub-Article 3 provides, and I read, Madam Speaker, that Parliament shall allocate adequate funds to enable each commission and independent office to perform its functions, and the budget of each commission and independent office shall be a separate vote. So, Madam Speaker, that article obligates the Senate to receive a report and ascertain whether independent commissions received budget that could effectively enable them to discharge the functions of their offices. Madam Speaker, Article 254 of our Constitution provides that as soon as possible after the end of each financial year, each commission and each holder of an independent office shall submit a report to the President and Parliament. Sub-Article 2 states that at any time the President, the National report on a particular issue. Madam Speaker, on the face of it, the Miscellaneous Law Amendment Bill offends the Constitution and has provisions that are clearly in contravention of Article 249(3) and Article 254 of our Constitution. Madam Speaker, the proposed amendments on these reporting obligations of the Commission and independent offices therefore raise issues of them being manifestly unconstitutional. More so, Madam Speaker, what is of concern is that the National Assembly seeks to sneak this Miscellaneous Amendment Bill at the tail end of the current term of Parliament, whereas on the face of it, it can be discerned that the provisions have far-reaching consequences. Madam Speaker, members will recall that in the previous term of Parliament, the National Assembly passed amendments to the Treaty Making and Ratification Act to vary the ratifications of treaties from being brought to Parliament to being taken only to the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, attempts by the Senate to reverse these amendments have not succeeded, as while the Senate has passed the said amendments on 2 occasions, the National Assembly has declined to consider and pass the same. Madam Speaker, the bill currently before the National Assembly seeks to continue this practice of gradually chipping away through legislative and other means the mandate and functions conferred on the Senate under the bicameral Parliament as provided for in the Constitution. Madam Speaker, it's a matter that both the Executive and the National Assembly, it is a fact, Madam Speaker, that both in the Executive and the National Assembly, there are elements who still believe that the Senate is an unnecessary aberration, and they will stop at nothing in their quest to undermine and diminish the place and mandate of the Senate. Madam Speaker, I want to make an appeal to all senators that this is a matter that we must resist. Madam Speaker, I therefore issue this statement to bring this very important matter to the attention of the Honorable House and to the senators. We must speak with one voice, Madam Speaker, to reject the attempt by the National Assembly to consider and pass these amendments at this time and without reference to the Senate. Madam Speaker, I call upon our Majority Leader and the Minority Leader to immediately get in touch with their counterparts in the National Assembly to ensure that this bill is not proceeded with. Madam Speaker, the amendments contained in the said bill are not urgent and can be considered substantively by the two houses once Parliament is convened. Madam Speaker, you will notice that in one of the proposed amendments at page 821 is a proposal to amend the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act to bar MCAs, members of parliament, and senators who are under investigations, not who have been convicted, who are under investigations not to access parliament and even to exercise powers of their offices. Madam Speaker, those are far, far-reaching amendments which should not be effected through a miscellaneous amendment bill. Madam Speaker, at page 826 of the miscellaneous law amendment bill, the Leader of Majority National Assembly states that this is a bill that does not concern county governments. But Madam Speaker, if you recall, this House has had benefit of debating, by way of reference to this House from the National Assembly, the Roads Amendment Bill, Madam Speaker. If you peruse, Madam Speaker, this miscellaneous law amendment bill, among the laws that are proposed to be amended is the Roads Act. So, Madam Speaker, this bill is mischievous. It's an attempt by the National Assembly to pass a bill at the tail end of their tenure, which is manifestly on the face of it unconstitutional. So, Madam Speaker, I've reason to bring this matter to the attention of the House and also to seek your directions. Maybe if you allow me, Madam Speaker, I also want to update this House that if the House recalls, we had filed High Court civil suit number E84, where we had gotten some orders from the High Court compelling the two speakers to seek concurrence in line with Article 110 of the Constitution before any bill is processed. Madam Speaker, that particular order of the High Court was set aside by the Court of Appeal, and we subsequently proceeded and filed an application in the Supreme Court seeking stay. On the 19th of May, 2022, Madam Speaker, we got orders from the Supreme Court that stayed the orders of the Court of Appeal. So in essence, the status quo was that the two speakers must have concurrence before any bill is processed. But in a sequence of events, which I'm not able to discern and understand, as a lawyer who has practiced for over 25 years, Madam Speaker, an application for review of our order of stay that was issued to us on 19th of May 2022, an application to set aside those orders was filed by the National Assembly on the 25th of May 2022. Madam Speaker, in supersonic speed, the Supreme Court ordered parties to file responses and submissions. And Madam Speaker, our advocates appeared before the Supreme Court on 3rd in the morning, and by 3rd of June in the afternoon, our orders were vacated. Meaning, therefore, Madam Speaker, that we have gone back to the situation that was prevailing before we had moved to the High Court, where the Speaker of the National Assembly can unilaterally make a determination as to which bill concerns counties. Madam Speaker, this is a situation that puts really the constitutional mandate of this House at risk, If this trend continues, Madam Speaker, the mandate of this House will be watered down to the level that we may be rendered irrelevant. It's a matter that must really catch the attention of all of us, and we must speak with one voice on how to address this matter. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. I see some intervention from Senator Kajwang.
Madam Speaker, if you allow me, this matter is so important that, you know, even though we are going to closure of the House, we are going into elections, but this is so important because those who are aspiring to come to this Senate are going to find themselves in a shell of a house. They won't find the house that is envisaged in the Constitution. Because, Madam Speaker, Article 93, 94 talks about Parliament, its establishment, and its role. And it goes ahead to talk about Parliament being the guarantor of the will of the people, and Parliament being the Senate and the National Assembly. Madam Speaker, the mischief, and it's unfortunate that I'm using this word almost twice today, even though it's also to follow what Senator Mogeni has cited. These omnibus amendments are mischievous. When you look at the timing, when you look at the content, you can clearly conclude that some people somewhere have come up with a scheme to whittle down the powers of the Senate, to amend the Constitution through the back door, to kill bicameralism, and to abrogate duties to the National Assembly, duties that were the preserve of Parliament collectively. Madam Speaker, we cannot sound helpless. And previously, this Senate has taken a firm decision, despite opposition from the executive, despite some of those decisions and actions being politically incorrect. But it is that political incorrectness that has enabled the Senate to be what it is today. Madam Speaker, the Senate I joined in the year 2015 is definitely not the Senate that I am living briefly in the year 2022. And the Senate that we are going to come to in post 9th of August 2022, Madam Speaker, if it is going to be the sole discretion of the Speaker of the National Assembly to determine at what point to comply with Article 110, then really there will be no need to waste taxpayers' money on a Senate, and there will be no need for us to walk around calling ourselves the upper house. We cannot appear to be helpless. And Madam Speaker, because these are issues that are live, even as we focus on our campaigns and the political season, it would be important that we provide direction to a legal department to take the necessary action to ensure that the duties of the Senate are not reduced through these omnibus amendments. Madam Speaker, I want to thank Senator Okongo Mogeni for his vigilance, that even though everyone now is talking of campaigns, but he's been vigilant enough to scrutinize these omnibus amendments and to see through the mischief. I want to thank the lawyers in this House who have sacrificed their professional time and service. When the same Parliamentary Service Commission, and Madam Speaker, that is why I was a bit unhappy earlier when Senator for Vihiga tabled 3 financial year reports before this House of the Parliamentary Service Commission. And we know, Madam Speaker, it is a Parliamentary Service Commission that has disabled the Senate from engaging legal aid and legal assistance, getting legal services. Madam Speaker, the same PSC allows the National Assembly to get premium legal representation. And then the National Assembly is starved of resources and approvals. And so we have to use our in-house staff. And if it were not for the advocates in this House who have volunteered, and most of them pro bono, we probably would have lost all the matters that we have taken to court. Madam Speaker, even when we go sine die, and even when everyone goes home to campaign, the Senate is not just the members of the Senate. We have a very, very able secretariat and a very able legal team. We must put up a fight, because if we are helpless, then I don't know what we'll be telling our people when we are campaigning. What are we going to do for them when all our powers of oversight are being taken away? when the definition of parliament is being changed through the back door using some of these omnibus bills, when even the tenure of a member of parliament is being affected. Madam Speaker, it's extremely, the presumption of innocence until guilt is proven. If an amendment talks of a senator, member of National Assembly, or member of County Assembly, not being able to represent the people because he's under investigation, and we have seen how some of these bodies have been used, even though the issue of weaponization of some of these agencies has come from a certain political corner, Madam Speaker, it is not far-fetched that that weaponization can affect all players in the political field. So we cannot allow some of those things to go through. Madam Speaker, I want to encourage Senator Okongo Mogeni that in the diagnosis of the problem, that he would once again rise up and using his very, very deep legal experience, legal knowledge, and his deep intellect to help our legal team in the Senate to ensure that we put up a strong fight, not just on these omnibus, but also on the issues before the Superior Courts on compliance with Article 110. Finally, Madam Speaker, I'm glad that today a state officer who has been impeached is barred from running again for public office. But, Madam Speaker, if we stretched that a little bit further, this Senate has declared various state officers to be unfit to hold public office. Unfortunately, those recommendations of this House have never been taken seriously. What should be the impact and the finality of a declaration by Parliament that a state officer is unfit to hold public office? It should count for something. It should bar them from further appointments. It should bar them from getting engaged in further services to the nation. And Madam Speaker, if that was then the effect of being declared unfit to hold public office, then some of the people behind the violation of the Constitution, the violation of Article 110, we should declare them unfit to hold public office, and they should not be allowed to sit anywhere, be it the Parliamentary Service Commission or as speakers, because, Madam Speaker, the problem we have is not just a problem of the law, but it is a problem of people thinking that they are smart, problem of people thinking that the Senate is inferior, problem of people thinking that the Senate does not have intellectual leadership that is able to discern some of these things. Madam Speaker, I hope that the next Parliament, we are going to cure these unhealthy and unhelpful competition between the Senate and the National Assembly. We can coexist. The Constitution has given us joint functions and has given us some functions that are unique. We can coexist. And if we don't want to coexist, let us not use the back door of omnibus amendments. Let us face the people directly through a referendum. Let us put the question to the people. Do we need a Senate or not? Do we need a bicameral system or not? Let the matter be settled by the people, rather than some people who just want to hide behind legislative drafting to amend the Constitution suspiciously. Senator and the chair for legal, we are fully and solidly behind you. If we need to march as we have marched in the past, we shall be there. If we have to take politically incorrect decisions to defend the Constitution and the Senate, we shall join you. But the institution of the Senate, as created in the Constitution, Madam Speaker, as a senator for Homa Bay, and as one having been elected by the people of Homa Bay to represent them in the Senate, I will not preside over the mutilation and dismemberment of the Senate, over my dead body. Thank you. Thank you, Senator for Nyamira.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. Honorable Mogeni, I want to thank you for bringing this very important matter to the House. I can see from your recommendations that we are also having very little opportunities, but yes, there is still an opportunity because we cannot run away from taking this responsibility. I would therefore like to support the statement by giving the following order, that this statement be communicated to the majority leader and the minority leader by end of today. And then tomorrow, let's cause a consultation between the majority leader, the minority leader, the chairperson of the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal and Affairs and Human Rights, and the Speaker, so that we agree on a way forward. Because as much as we have a very short time, if we leave it out, it's going to cause a lot of implications that we might all regret later. So communicate the same to majority leader, minority leader, the statement as is, then we'll cause a meeting. I will cause a meeting to take place between the Speaker and the 3 members so that we have a better way forward. Thank you very much for that statement. Thank you. Honorable Senators, next order.
Order number 8, the Health Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 2 of 2021, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to make amendments to health-related laws.
Honorable Senators, we have been monitoring the members online, and I think we are all aware that some members are still going before IEBC today to present their papers, and so we are not able to prosecute orders number 9 to order number 35. I therefore order that the same be placed on the order paper tomorrow, Wednesday, 8 June 2022. Honorable members, honorable senators, there being no other business on the order paper, therefore, the Senate stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 8 June 2022 at 2:30 p.m.